I'm Erin Lee, Executive Director of Protect Kids Colorado.
And I am State Representative, also Pastor, Scott Bottoms, House District 15, and running for governor here in Colorado.
I'm a disenfranchised Democrat who 5 years ago, this cult, this gender cult, and it very much is a cult-like mentality, came after my 12-year-old daughter. And she was convinced in her 6th grade classroom that she was actually a transgender boy. She was sexualized. She was connected online to predators. And when we found out, we were vilified for not affirming her confusion and calling her our son. We even had Child Protective Services come to our door for a well child check and potentially could have lost our kids as a result of not going along with it. We thought that when we went to the school and to the media that people were going to think it was wrong. And it became clear very quickly that there was only one side who was supporting us. That was the conservatives, that was the Christians.
So I've also been working within this space a long time as a pastor. We've been dealing with this for probably close to 10 years. It started off slow, but it's been gaining momentum. This before I became a representative. And we knew that there was an issue. I had families in my church that were saying, hey, they're grooming my kids. This is before I really understood the full significance of this.
And Protect Kids, we're just a broad coalition of people from every walk of life, parents, grandparents, teachers, students, concerned citizens who came together and kind of put our differences aside on all issues for this great unifier of protecting kids. And we realized that here at the Capitol, it's really hard to get anything accomplished. We can't pass good bills, we can't stop the bad ones, but we the people have this constitutional right to circumvent the legislature and pass our own legislation. And so we've got these 3 issues to protect kids that will be on the November ballot. It's the Children Are Not For Sale Act, stricter penalties for child sex trafficking, the Tech Girl Sports Act, which just makes sports male, female, co-ed, making sure everyone has a safe and fair place to compete, and then the Protect Children from Irreversible Sex Change Surgery Act. We built an all-volunteer army. We had over 3,300 circulators, over 1,900 notaries, over 500 churches that all engaged, again, in this great unifying issue of protecting kids in Colorado when our legislators will not.
Listen, I've just been excited to be able to work with Erin and with Protect Kids Colorado with all of this information tied together. It's been huge.
So to Scott's credit, he was the first pastor to sign on to Protecting Kids back in 2024 when we were just a group of ragtag parents figuring out how to run a ballot measure. He was the first church at Prairie to open up their doors, not just to have our petitions for signing, but to be a distribution center where volunteers could come pick them up. And then he also this year ran all 3 of the initiatives as House bills so that we could give the legislature a chance to do the right thing and get them on the record where they stand on these issues.
When I first saw this from Protect Kids Colorado, I knew this is in my wheelhouse. This is exactly what I've been doing as a pastor for the last 35 years. This is how I think. I am so glad that they brought these forward. My bills were just a tiny bit different, but that's just so we can get them into the right legal language for a bill rather than a ballot initiative. And I did want to give a chance to the legislators to vote yes on these things ahead of time. The Democrats voted unanimously against every one of these. Now we do have that on record, including the statements that they made, and we want to make sure that we get that out there. These people voted against our children. They voted for transgender surgeries. They voted for girls being hurt, harmed, emotionally abused, sexually abused in their sports. And so we want to make sure that that gets out there.
These bills that Scott ran, they're not partisan. This is not a right versus left issue. This is right versus wrong. It's protecting all kids, not just Republicans' kids.
I've been, attacked by different TV groups and newspapers and things about some of the statements I've made about pedophilia here in the House of Representatives, Senate, going up to the governor's office.
I've been attacked by a lot of the same outlets that attacked Scott for making those comments for the same thing, saying that what happens here is demonic, saying that there are pedophiles in Colorado. I agree. Yeah. I've been privy to conversations about what's happening here and investigations, what's happening here in the Capitol. I can confirm that what Scott has said is true and understand why details can't be given.
I actually know people's names of who is trafficking kids. All of this is going on all over the United States, but in the most pedophile-friendly, the most human trafficking-friendly in the United States, it's not happening here. Come on, you got to use some common sense.
This is a serious area of concern for parents in Colorado, and we're grateful that Scott's willing to say the difficult thing out loud that we all know is happening.
These 3 ballot initiatives are literally just a tip of the iceberg of what is really going on in this building. There is a lot of very protecting pedophile bills, not wanting to put them in jail, protecting human trafficking bills that come through here. And any bill that we try to bring across that tries to stop human trafficking, pedophilia, directly attacking parental authority is knocked down in this building like crazy. So these three ballot initiatives really, hopefully, will just illuminate everything else that's going inside this building. Trafficking kids across state lines, funding all of this stuff, funding the transgender ideology. Do we believe that women should be protected? All of these different issues. I've run many, many bills on this.
We knew we had to do something about it, and that's when we built this coalition. And you see 3,300 people stepped up to support, because these are such pervasive and agreeable issues. Boys cannot become girls, kids should not be mutilated, and we should be holding child sex traffickers accountable. I just encourage all Coloradans to get involved. These issues that we care about, these measures transcend politics, they transcend left versus right. This is a way for we the people to just do a little bit, to just talk to your neighbors, your family, your friends, your own sphere of influence, but be part of massive change and impact in Colorado. And when these pass in November, watch the dominoes fall.
We know that Democrats all over the state, unaffiliated independents all over the state, Republicans, Libertarians, Green Party, all over the state, you are not okay with what is going on. So get out and vote. You don't have to tell anybody, but get out and vote, because this is too big. It is too important for us to sit on the sidelines. And Democrats, you can win your party back. And this is the beginning of winning your party back.
Because so many lesbian and gays jumped in to support our initiatives to say, not in our name. We're not for harming children. This is our sexual preference. It has nothing to do with children. Stop doing this in our name. So we had over 100 petition circulators that were LGBs.
So LGB and TQ+ are not the same. Some of our strongest advocates and defenders of children's rights and protecting children is groups like Gays Against Groomers. People are not okay with what is happening to our kids. In Democrat ranks, in unaffiliated independent, doesn't matter. This is not partisan. This is our children, and they're just not okay with this.
Come this November, we're really confident. Again, these are not partisan issues. These are, affecting Coloradans in every walk of life. Atheist, Christian, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. Everyone believes that protecting children is of utmost importance, no matter what side you come from. We're just really confident that these are going to pass at the ballot. But our hurdle now is just getting out the vote with nonsensical arguments against us. It's willful ignorance and apathy, and making sure that people just turn in those ballots. They agree with us. We just need to make sure that we're turning in those ballots.
You don't have to get on board with us. You don't have to fight with us. I'm going to fight this thing all the way to the end until we root out pedophilia throughout our entire state. And we'll not quit until we do that. But it would be nice to have some people on board with us.